Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Syndrome and coming to you here tonight with my thoughts on this week's Friday Night Smackdown. Nope, don't have much to say as an introduction, so let's just get right to it. Alright, so we're starting off this week's Smackdown with Ryback versus Daniel Bryan. Now, before the match, we get to see a short but pretty good promo by Ryback. Now we get on to the match. Now, the match itself was very surprising to me. I saw a much better match than I was anticipating from these two guys. Now, I know it's Daniel Bryan. He can make pretty much anybody look like $1,000, but still, Ryback managed to really hold his own in this match. Managed to show off some really good offense and actually some stuff that we haven't seen him do yet. Also, lengthwise, it was definitely more than 10 minutes long, so it's one of the first real longer matches that we've seen Ryback compete in. So, yeah, overall, it was a pretty impressive match and actually definitely contender for match of the evening. So, yeah, definitely a very good start of the show. Just a little bit of a shame, of course, that Daniel Bryan has to take the pinfall here again. Just for once, I'd like to see the guy actually win something, but oh well, maybe next week. And next up, we have Fandango going up against Zack Ryder. Now, pretty basic squash match as you would expect from these two guys, with Fandango picking up a pretty quick win. Overall, it wasn't a too bad match, but yeah, it was way too short to really showcase any really good offense. So again, a little bit of a wasted opportunity. And to be honest, I can't wait for the WWE to finally give this Fandango an actual feud to compete in. I mean, his feud with Chris Jericho was great. And now that they're going to go back to it at some point or another. But, Jericho's not around at the moment. So, give him someone else to fight against. Give him another guy to feud with. I'm sure there's plenty of faces you can still use, mid-card faces that could, use another feud as well. So, but, yeah, so far we're getting nothing but squash matches and dance-offs like last Monday. Let's forget about that real quick. So yeah, I'm still impressed by the guy. Definitely, his finishing maneuver, the leg drop. Just every time I've seen him do it so far, it's been absolutely picture perfect. And while it is just a leg drop from the top rope, he makes it look really impactful and really spectacular, despite it being a fairly basic move. And I really like that, and it makes it look great. Just stupid move, but hey, done with enough flair, you can make anything look awesome. All right, next up we have a complete and utter mess. We're starting off with a one-on-one situation with Ricardo Rodriguez going up against Zeb Coulter, which I don't understand why we're having this match to begin with, but thankfully it doesn't last very long, which then leads to a tag team match between Zeb Coulter, Jack Swagger, and Alberto Del Rio and Ricardo Rodriguez, which also doesn't last very long, which then eventually leads to the actual match, which is a triple threat tag team match between Zeb Coulter, Jack Swagger, Alberto Del Rio, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Big E Langston and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, like I said, a little bit of a mess, and I don't see the point in going about it this way, but yeah, okay, never mind. The actual match that we get to see in the end, the triple threat tag team match, was actually pretty good, so I can't really complain too much about that. The outcome, however, was very, very disappointing. Again, they let Dolph Ziggler take the pin there. Not the pin this time, but tapping out to Alberto Del Rio's cross arm breaker. And this is like the third or fourth match that Dolph Ziggler has lost since he's gained the World Heavyweight Championship. I'm really not liking the way they're booking Dolph Ziggler. They should really, really make him a little bit of a stronger champion. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure that he's going to retain the title at the Triple Threat at Extreme Rules, but still, these matches do matter, It's not just the matches at the pay-per-view that matter, the championship matches, the matches in between matter some as well. I mean, it all goes in your win-loss record, and let's face it, Dolph Ziggler's win-loss record wasn't all that great to begin with, and now that he's champion, I would have expected to, at the very least, start balancing out a little bit again, but apparently he's still onto his losing ways, sadly enough. Alright, up next we have Randy Orton going up against Damien Sandow. In a fairly decent match. It definitely wasn't horrible, but yeah, it wasn't anything spectacular either. Not like the Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes match that we had Monday night, which was really excellent. This match was a lot less quality-wise. Also a little bit shorter, which I'm sure had something to do with it. But personally, I'm just wondering why exactly is he even, going up against Steamroad Skullers? I mean, unless I'm terribly mistaken, he's in a feud with the Big Show, so not really sure what Team Road Skullers is doing here, taking losses to Randy Orton while they're not even remotely involved in the feud he's in. But yeah, it's the WWE. What can you say? The Big Show does, in fact, come out after the match to cut a little promo, which wasn't all that great. Had a very creepy love sequence going on there that I wasn't a too big fan about. After Damien Sandow hit his finisher on Randy Orton after the match. But, okay, well, overall, I didn't care much for the feud, and these two matches that Randy Orton now had in this week definitely did absolutely nothing to further my anticipation. And talking about feuds I don't care about, here comes Sheamus and Mark Henry, and this time they're gonna do an arm wrestling competition. Yay, I guess, whatever. Granted, it was a little bit better than the tug of war stuff that we saw on Monday night, but only just. So, yeah, and considering, the tug of war was really horrible, this, yeah, not all that much of an improvement. And again, this feud, I just absolutely don't care about, and these kind of promos just aren't helping, guys. Give these guys something useful to do instead of just, feats of strength, so to speak. And worst of all, every single time Mark Henry comes off looking like an absolute fool. I mean, this time as well, with Sheamus sucker punishing him and, giving him the bro kick afterwards. There's just no point to it. I mean, it's pretty basically just the other way around than the way it should be. I mean, Mark Henry is the heel, he should have been the one to sucker punch, but no, instead we have, Sheamus losing the feats of strength, but then always getting the last laugh with a sucker punch, which is totally against the face character that Sheamus is supposed to portray. But Whatever. Why am I even putting so much time in this segment is beyond me. So let's move on. Alright, and then main event of the evening, we have Kane going up against the Shield member Dean Ambrose. Yeah, Kane's looking for some revenge for what happened to The Undertaker and Daniel Bryan earlier on in the evening. So, alright, cool. And yeah, we get a pretty good match out of it. As per usual, as far as the Shield is involved, it's always pretty good television, and they always put on great matches. And yeah, today definitely not an exception. We saw a very good match between these two guys, and it's nice to see the veteran Kane, still being able to go the full length of a very nice, great match against new up and comer Dean Ambrose, which I'm really liking. What I'm seeing from this guy, definitely, both against the Undertaker on Raw and now against Kane here on Smackdown. We saw some pretty impressive stuff from him, and can't wait for the time when the Shield breaks up and we see these guys go into solo action. Should be pretty entertaining at that point, but of course, for now, let's stick with the Shield and let these guys have a couple more months of domination over the WWE. So long as they keep booking it pretty smartly and keeping it pretty fresh, the Shield, has a bit more of a lifespan to them still. So yeah, should be nice. Alright, so what did I think about the show overall? Well, it wasn't bad, definitely not. Had a couple of really good matches, specifically the opener, Daniel Bryan versus Ryback, was, definitely a match of the evening and was very well done. Also, the main event, the one to close it, Kane versus Dean Ambrose, also very well done, also a very good match. Also saw some fairly decent promos and of course some not so great promos such as the Sheamus versus Mark Henry one, but yeah, overall definitely wasn't all that bad. Was it better than Raw this Monday? No, I don't know. I think they were about the same level this week, but yeah, overall, good enough for to keep me entertained and keep me looking forward to Extreme Rules. Should be good, should be good. But yeah, until next week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching.